In this video, we're going to design and press a sublimation pillow cover. You're going to learn how to create beautiful custom pillow throws. The first thing I do is I go to my image source, and I have a Creative Fabrica All Access account. I really like that a lot. And I have found the image that I want, and so I download it, and you can see that it comes with all the license keys, and that's important if you're selling. You don't want to be selling something that's copyrighted. I use Microsoft Word to design, and I have had really good luck with it. So here you can see that I have went to Insert and then Picture from my computer, from my downloads, and the design that I'm putting in comes in looking like this. This is how big it looks when it comes in. As you can see, I've got an arrow there pointing to that side circle there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that to the right to stretch it out. But one of the first things I'm going to do here is, you see up here where the layout options is highlighted, you're going to always pick layout option, and then you're going to, with text wrapping, you're going to do the through, and you'll see that in the next slide too. There's a lot going on in this image here, but the first thing I want to show you is that I changed the size to 8.5 by 14, and I went with the orientation of landscape and the layout option there again of wrapping and through. The reason I went with 8.5 by 14 is because the pillows are 18 by 18 square, so that gives me plenty of room to put this image on. And you can see that I've stretched this out now to fill that whole piece of 8.5 by 14 paper. To get the full 8.5 by 14, you're going to have to also change your margins. And as you can see here, I have mine set to 0. And then you can see all the settings in here now that I've got for this print. Now I went ahead and I saved this. I saved it as He Has Risen Pillow 2 in my downloads so that I could find it. And then I went to print. So now when I'm in the print option, you see the printer properties there. So that's what you're going to want to go to next. I have this printing from my Epson ET 2760 that I have converted over to a sublimation printer by adding sublimation ink to it. So now on the first screen here, when you get into your printer properties, you're going to see paper type off to the middle right there. And it says paper type premium presentation paper matte is what I chose for this one. And then quality, I put high. Then you're going to go to the next tab up there, the more options tab. So after you change your paper to premium presentation paper matte and high quality, then you're going to go to your more options. Now you're in the more options tab, and as you can see, I hit the drop down button there under image options, and I clicked on emphasize more, and then to the left of that you can see I have checked the box for emphasize thin lines. Then you're going to want to hit OK on that one. And then down below you see additional settings. You never want high speed on, so make sure you uncheck high speed, and you always want to mirror your images for sublimation. Otherwise, when you put it on, it's going to be backwards. So always mirror your image. So now you can see here, I had this on an 8.5 by 14, and I've trimmed it down. I always trim because you can have some residual ink on the outside, and you go to press it and you've got some random black line on your item that you're pressing on. So my suggestion is to always trim down your prints. Then I also fold it at the center, and the reason I do that is so that it's going to help me find the center of this pillow. Now it's time to preheat your press. So whatever heat source that you're using, these sublimation pillow covers are 100% polyester. They are a tan color. They are made for sublimation. They take the sublimation ink very well. So what I like to use for 100% polyester cloth is 385 degrees for between 25 and 35 seconds. So I have it set to 385 degrees for 30 seconds to preheat. For sublimation, you should always pre-press your item that you're pressing on because you just want to get the moisture out of it. So what I like to do for these pillow covers is I will fold them in half, and that's how I'm going to pre-press them because I want to get this center line in there. You can see the center in that picture. This is after I pre-pressed it. I want that center line because it's going to give me the exact location that I want to put my image on. Always use protective paper and never use it again. Protective paper you want on here when you pre-press both top and bottom in case there's some residual ink left on your press. You do not want to press that onto your pillow cover. You don't want to have any shadowing or any lingering images from a previous press. And never reuse your paper because it can pick up an image and you can hold it up to the light and you might not see it, but when you go to press something, and it really stinks when you wreck something because you reused your paper. So now I laid my image on the pillowcase that I'm pressing onto. I put center on center. So I use that center line from the pre-press, and then I make sure that my image is the right way. You can actually see it through here that it is, but sometimes you can't see that. So you want to make sure that you're not putting your image on upside down. So now you can see that I lined up the pre-press center line with my paper center line from folding it. And with something like this, I don't use heat tape because it's not necessary on this for me. You may want to use heat tape. I tend not to have good luck with heat tape when I'm doing cloth, so I avoid it if possible, but that's totally up to you. And again, in this picture, I'm just reiterating to cover with protective paper and don't use the paper that you have used previously. You never want to chance it. So here you can see the pillow cover with the image and now with the protective paper, and it's ready to be pressed. So here it is, right after I pressed it. It's still hot in this picture. I lift the protective paper up carefully, and then I lift the sublimation image paper up very carefully. I like to go straight up and get it off of there real fast. And so this is what it looks like. And here's the finished product. I really like this tan color. You got to be careful with the colors that you choose to put on something that isn't white. You know, you have to take into account that the image is going to press a different color when you're putting it on a color. So now I've added the 18 by 18 pillow inserted into the zipper sublimation pillow cover. And I think it turned out beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned something, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.